Alright, hey, hi, and everybody, this is Pika here, and I'm here to present to you Katawa Shoujo Part 20. This is quiet for some reason. My music officer saying? Yeah. Alright, so let's get started. Oh, fuck me, I forgot! Shit, I'm probably gonna need to censor some shit in this episode or not. I don't know. Oh, for Shimeji, it's Hibiya! Man, I really freaking hope he shows up in the next episode of Macaque City Actors. I mean with a speaking role, not like in the fucking abduction. Alright, so, some days later, I spot Rin and Sai standing together in front of the gallery as I walk down the street toward the gallery. They seem to be talking to each other while Sai has a smoke. Good afternoon. I say this even though it's not really afternoon anymore. I came a bit later than usual since I got caught up doing homework. It's going to be dark soon. Hello there, Sal. Came to visit the little kitten again? Rin makes a face at the nickname. I guess she doesn't like it. Ironically, the way she wrinkles her nose like that really does make her look a little bit like a cat. Man, basically the reason why I'm recording this at like 11 something in the morning. Reason why is because I got so caught up in watching the latest episode that came out of The Walking Dead, and I mean the game, not the TV series. I don't watch the TV series. I'm only interested in the game. God damn, that shit is ridiculous. Hello. Okay. Sai turns back to Rin to continue the conversation they were having. So in other words, everything is going well enough? Rin makes a difficult expression and turns her face away from me for some reason. It's difficult. It's like I'm missing something, but I'll do it. Work hard and it'll be fine. I'm going to have to start working on my part of the preparations. I need to do a sales catalog, invitations, decorations, advertisement, and so on. I need the names for your works, and we also need to think up the general theme for the exhibition. They don't have anything like that. I'm not very good with words, so I don't use them. If I cannot use them. I mean, sometimes I have to, but I think this is not a time like that at all. You don't like naming your works? Well, neither do I. I mean, hell. I do a little bit of art on the side. Barely, but still. I don't like naming those works, because half the time I don't know what to name them. Alright. I don't like it. Well, I guess it's hard to come up with a good name for something like this. Rin shakes her head vehemently. It's not like that. It's like if I paint a cloud and call it an octopus, people will think about it differently than if I paint a cloud and call it the end of the world. Every name is wrong. Nothing ever explains what I feel like when I make a painting. It's not a word thing. The only thing would be to come up with new words for everything, but would it help at all? No, I don't think so. Then the paintings would just go with just unnamed number 1 and so on? It's a bit inconvenient, but... That's no good. Unnamed means they just didn't come up with a good name. And unnamed is a name, like that Greek guy with the sheep and all. Oh, Aristotle? Am I thinking? Sai thinks about this for a while, furrowing her brow as she keeps looking at Rin's serious face. So you're saying your artwork should be completely without labels? I think that's what I'm saying. Rin's voice doesn't sound right to me in this part. It's weird. I mean, it sounds like it, but yet it doesn't sit right with me. Sai lets out a dry laugh, the kind old ladies who smoke too much always seem to end up with. I have never given her a smoker voice. I can do Shinichi's voice, but I can't do Sai's voice like that. Let's hope your art will never end up in a museum. The creators would explode. She takes a contemplative puff on her cigarette, which is worn down not much more than a bud. Then she drops it into an ashtray fixed to the wall next to the door. Then again, it could work. What do you mean? This namelessness, this rejection of labels, it works. It's a good unifying theme, something people can grasp it onto easily. Allows for a lot of room for interpretation. It gives a good impression. Think about it, all sorts of associations can be made, starting from identity and self-definition, all the way to whatever you want to think about it. We could call your exhibition Nameless and build it on that theme. How does that sound? Rin thinks Rin thinks about this for a while. I'm not sure how Sai managed to get so fired up by Rin's reluctance to apply names to her works. It feels like she might be extrapolating too much, but it's a pretty impressive sounding idea.
I don't think it's a bad idea.
For what it's worth, I have to say it sounds pretty good to me, too. Sai reaches into her pocket for another cigarette, lighting it with a neon green butane lighter. God. Her forehead wrinkles and she rubs as she appears to furiously think more on this idea. She doesn't say a word for a little bit, but every now and then she takes a sharp drag from the cigarette. Yes, I think this would work out pretty nicely. I'm going to take this as a starting point and work from there. I'm going in to work on this. You go back upstairs and try to find your missing ingredients. I'm sure it'll come to you sooner or later. Rin doesn't reply, so Sai takes one last long pull from her cigarette and drops it in the tray to join with others of its kind. The gallery owner turns to head back inside, but is stopped by Rin just as she reaches for the door handle.
Sai?
What is it, kitten?
Can I have some cigarettes?
Whoa. Rin, you want to smoke? She looks at Rin incredulously, clearly not having expected such a direct request. Not that I did either. Don't tell your teacher. She stuffs the packet in Rin's pocket along with the neon green lighter. Huh. The day is already folding into dusk when we climb up the dark stairs leading up to what is now basically Rin's atelier. As we go inside, Rin doesn't seem to be able to settle down. She keeps pacing around the room like a caged animal, looking through the skylight at the burgundy-colored dusk. The last light of the sun advances across the sky reflects from the clouds floating over the town, filling every corner of the atelier with blazing orange light. So painting is going well? She blinks, then relaxes her muscles. I didn't even realize how tensed up she was until now.
Not really. I haven't painted in 3 days. I'm going in squares.
Oh, God. Circles.
If you say so.
Of course she does that.
I tried doing things a bit differently, but it doesn't work, and now the old way doesn't work either. I need something more. It's not enough like this.
Rin's response gives me pause, since as usual I can't exactly understand what she means, although really I shouldn't have expected anything else. She either says nothing at all or too much. Trying to comprehend and follow her train of thought feels like wading through the jungles of Borneo equipped with a wooden spoon and a map of Hokkaido. It's annoying how her thoughts are both laid out in plain sight and hidden from view every time she opens her mouth. What more? You said that to Sai as well. A missing ingredient?
I think I have to destroy myself.
What do you mean? Okay, that sounds unnecessarily grim. What do you mean? Exactly. Rin's shoulders slump and she turns to face me directly.
I have to change. I've tried, but this is not enough yet. I have to destroy myself first, I think.
Just be to be clear. Please tell me that's supposed to be just to be clear and the B's not supposed to be there. Just to be clear, you are speaking metaphorically, right? Like learning to paint from scratch again or whatever, so to speak? She shrugs her shoulders as if there's no difference.
There is no difference.
So, you're going to start by smoking a cigarette. For inspiration?
Maybe. I've never tried this before. Have you?
No, can't say I have. Still, I'm not really sure if having a smoke is the best starting point. She responds to my words with another nonchalant shrug. I open the cigarette pack and look inside. It's almost full. Smoking's bad for you, but that's the idea here, I guess?
Yes, I need to do something. I want to paint. I need something more.
So, okay, fine. What's after smoking a cigarette then? How do you intend to destroy yourself? Rin thinks for a split second, averting her gaze like she does when she doesn't want to get distracted.
I don't know yet. I'll decide later.
Rin bends down to pick out a cigarette from the end. She raises her head with one between her lips and turns to me, eyebrows curved into 2 arcs, challenging me to respond. God, she looks so awkward. That looks so awkward, just having like a cigarette just sticking out. It seems awkward. With a sigh of resignation, I pick up the lighter and raise it to meet the cigarette. I can feel Rin's warm breath against my quivering hand. God damn it. The flame flickers to life on the third strike of the flint, and I try to aim the dancing fire at the end of the cigarette. And I end up burning Rin. An ember-colored glow spreads into the wrapping paper and tobacco as Rin inhales the first smoke. It seems to relax her significantly. To my surprise, she doesn't cough, despite telling me that she's a first-timer. Rin seems to remember that it's hard to blow the smoke out without spitting the cigarette out as well. She quickly sits down on the floor, bringing her foot to her lips like a circus contortionist, and expertly picks the filter between the two toes. I get down on the floor as well. We both lie down almost simultaneously while Rin blows a steady stream of smoke towards the dim sky beyond the glass of the skylight, looking after it thoughtfully. I know there's a picture here. Yep. The thin haze of steely blue smoke slithers towards the ceiling in fish-like movements. It blows in the stagnant air of the atelier, twisting and turning around its own immaterial body until it dissipates in thin air.
What's the word for smoke that looks like that?
There is no word for that.
We should maybe come up with one.
Maybe. Rin takes another quick experimental drag.
It's not very tasty. Feels like inhaling the dust line on top of a forgotten book about the memories of a dead kingdom. Do you want to try?
My hesitation unintentionally surfaces again, making me freeze in the face of a rather trivial and commonplace challenge. Rin's ability to take everything so coolly is something I'm a bit jealous of. Alright, just fuck it. I have nothing to lose. And now we're smoking. Oh god. Taking it from her, I have a drag on it, fighting against the sudden choking feeling in my lungs as they fill with smoke. God damn, his Sal looks thin as fuck. Like, he is slim. To my embarrassment, I feel, wheezing and hacking my lungs out. Well, don't forget, you're a first-timer too! I feel flustered, but maybe I haven't lost too much face in Rin's eyes. There. God, this is awkward as fuck. Alright. It's less unpleasant on the second try, but I still pass the cigarette back to Rin. We're like a pair of budding delinquents in middle school, sneaking their first smoke out of sight of their teachers and parents. Well, I suppose it's not like. That's exactly what we are. After a while, the cigarette has shrunk most of the way down to the filter. Rin is still looking quietly out of the skylight. With her looking out there, the silence inside the atelier seems to deepen even more. Are the cogs of creativity turning behind those eyes right now?
Do another one.
Oh god. Might as well we might as well smoke half the pack! I'm not trying to make fun of this situation. I'm not trying to make fun of this situation. It's just how I deal with some things like that. I mechanically pick another cigarette, light it, and place it on Rin's lips. She takes a few quick puffs and moves it awkwardly around with her lips.
Fekif.
Not understanding her garbled words, I glance over at Rin. It's like she's having trouble with the cigarette. And I take it too. I pick the cigarette from her lips and place it on mine, abandoning common sense and good reason while I do so. The first one should have been enough for me, but I take another drag, still coughing a little at the unpleasant sensation of smoke invading my respiratory organs. Is this good for your heart? Like, I don't think it is. I remember doing something like this before.
Sea of smoke? Doesn't look like it, though.
Nah, lying on my back and looking at the sky with you.
Oh.
This is kind of a pretty scene. The sky on the other side of the glass is slowly growing darker. It's unreachably high, even if the shimmering smoke seems to make it closer. I return the cigarette back to Rin's mouth. It feels bad somehow. The space between us, less than arm's reach, is still there. It's the distance between us, the immeasurably wide chasm of thoughts and feelings that separates us with graver certainty than even light years of physical distance could. By saying the right words, there might be a way to make that chasm narrower, even if it's just a little. I try to cross that gap with one big step, but Rin turned me back. I glance at her out of the corner of my eye. Rin is staring upward through the smoke-filled ceiling and the skylight, the darkening sky above us. It's almost like she's sleeping, even though I know she isn't. Her eyes are open, as is her mouth. I take the cigarette from Rin before it falls on her cheek. She doesn't react to my touch in any way. So this is where we are now. I wonder if we can ever be closer than this. I take a drag of the cigarette and blow a thin stream of smoke upwards. These indirect kisses are the only things that connect us right now. I was gonna actually mention that, but I figured it'd be wrong to talk during this. The taste of Rin's lips on the filter, mixed with the ashen taste of the smoke. Her soft lips against my fingers as I pressed the cigarette in her mouth, as if she was placing kisses on them. The ash softly falling on the floor between us like snow. As the second cigarette is being finished off, I'm already lighting the third one. The only thing breaking the stillness of the atelier is the inaudible sound of smoke floating towards the first stars blinking overhead. Light nausea hits me by the fourth or fifth cigarette. Before long, the shape of the waxing moon appears in the skylight, shading her wan light down on us. It'll be full moon in a few days. It'd be nice to be able to fly. I flinch after realizing it was my own voice that gave birth to the remark, the bastard child of the almost inebriating smoke and tiredness.
You can't?
So, okay, that was weird. I've been speaking in Hasal's voice for so long, I forgot how to speak in Rin's voice for a moment. You can?
Sometimes I feel like it, like I can do anything.
I wish I felt like that too sometimes. I wonder if she hears the bitterness seeping into my words. The vicious cycle of unrequited feelings is poisoning me, even now. I try to push the grim thoughts aside. My effort to meet with little success as my mind keeps swirling around what-ifs and if-onlys. Watching the moon slowly creeping higher, I realize that a long time has passed since I came here. It sobers me somewhat, but also reminds me of the sad status quo we're in now. It's late, I better get going back to school. I stand up to leave, but Rin doesn't show any sign of rising up from the floor. She lies inanimate, as though all life had been sapped from her. Little wisps of smoke float about her, memories of the cigarettes we shared. I grasp her by her short and thin arm and try to pull her up. To my surprise, she complies and stands up with some help from me. I notice how little Rin weighs, as if she were made of feathers. Are you going to stay here overnight?
I have to. I haven't painted much in 3 days. I have to find out how I can start painting. Maybe the smoke helps.
Just take a break?
That's no good. I have to do it. If I can't paint anymore, I will be destroyed for real.
Maybe you're just burned out. You've been working pretty hard.
That would be bad. I wonder if this is it for me. I wanted to see how far I can go. Maybe this is it. The end.
You just have artist block. It's not a big deal.
That's the word for when you can't paint, right? I've had that before. Never like this, though. I pick up a brush and then I want to put it down right away. And then I do. 3 days. It's like I've forgotten how to paint. I didn't think that was possible. Like, more impossible than Emmy growing wings and a tail.
You need a break. I mean, I get that you're trying to go deeper inside yourself with your paintings, but it's really not that healthy to stay inside your own head for so long. Oh, God. I glance at the night sky visible through the window. A couple of stars are weakly twinkling above the city. They remind me of something I used to do once upon a time. It feels so horribly long ago. Come on, let's go outside.
Where?
Just for a walk. I'll show you my secret place. I don't know if it works in this town, but we can try. In any case, you need a break, and probably something to eat. Come on. You need to get your thoughts away from this for a while. When they're troubled, most people escape from their unhappy lives into a world of fantasy. I did that before and still do today, reading books endlessly, immersing myself in their world rather than my own. Rin's escape should be the other way around, though, out of her inner world and into the real. Rin doesn't look happy about this, but I ignore her. At least she's somewhat cooperative, walking after me as we head down the stairs and then down the sidewalk. Night has fallen upon the town. It's a gentle summer night, smelling of flowers and hot asphalt. The sunlight is replaced by shiny neon colors and bland yellow streetlights. The air is easy to breathe, as if the air pressure was noticeably lighter than usual. The feeling of daytime in the hot summers lasted long into the evening and night. I grab Rin by her sleeve like I've seen Emmy do, and to my surprise she obediently follows. The pale streetlights fight against the all-enveloping darkness as we walk together, the guide and the guided, although neither knows the destination. But it doesn't matter. This is the one moment where the usual silences that have become a ritual between me and Ren at last fit perfectly. Quick thing before I continue on here. It seems like, this scene right here, like, I always get confused by it. Like, if anyone has ever seen the anime do rar 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 blah blah blah, basically do rar rar rar, there we go. I actually feel like this scene fits it now, since I've seen most of it. There are some episodes I've missed here and there. Like, and I kind of wish that music, that would play, like, when everything was somewhat calm and shit, was in this track. I know it's not, but it'd actually be kind of cool. Alright. We walk side by side, choosing directions on impulse or inspiration. Sometimes we find ourselves back at a street we'd already seen once or twice. Sometimes we find new streets. All of them look asleep. Rin doesn't ask where we're going. Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she knows I don't have an answer. The silence of the night isn't scary. After all, the lights drive most of it away. The air grows cooler as the moon progresses along its journey in the cloudless sky. God, my mouth is starting to hurt because I've been speaking in this voice for so long. Few cars roam the streets at this hour, and even fewer people are on the sidewalk. The apparent lack of nocturnal life is somehow befitting of this place. There are around-the-clock shops and cafes, sure, but the atmosphere is like the town itself is slumbering. A town that sleeps 8 hours a day. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. Seriously, my freaking mouth hurts. How long have we been recording? 2:46, 2:27, so just short of 20 minutes, damn. The city I grew up in, bathed in the electric glow of the million light bulbs, never slept. I've seen it for myself. It's not the first time I've done this. I'm finally gonna get some backstory on Hisao. It happened one of the first times I was home alone. Both of my parents had business trips that neither could cancel, so they deemed me old enough to survive 2 days on my own. Their misplaced trust in me did not go to waste as I proceeded to spend the entire night out walking around the city. Even afterward, I couldn't say what made me stay downtown longer than I intended after school. I didn't feel like going home, so I stayed through the evening and eventually through the entire night. I walked long concentric circles around the landmark chosen at random. For some reason, the nighttime city felt fascinating. So I walked its streets. At every intersection, it was possible to choose your direction at random because they all led nowhere. The aimless wandering made me see things differently. I hope it'll do the same for Rin. We stopped to buy some hot coffee and snacks from a vending machine, then locate a bench where we sit down to eat. There was no time in the night of the town, so we spent an unknown amount of it just sitting there, observing the stillness of the usually vivid townscape. Still, it's getting very late, and soon it'll be getting very early.
So is this it?
Hearing Rin's voice surprises me. She doesn't sound bored. Rather, her tone is inquisitive, uncertain as to why I dragged her out here, yet curious to find out the answer. Yeah, have you been out all night? It's like a different world. The remark sent her thinking for a while, looking around as if she was looking for something. The wisps of light reflecting from the corners of her eyes are suddenly very sharp.
It's not a different world. It's the same, just asleep. What do you think this town is dreaming of? Maybe something like car sheep or building sheep? Why are dreams always about sheep?
I've never seen a sheep-related dream that I can remember.
Do different towns dream with different things?
Probably. How could they not? I answer half joking, half spurring her on. For the first time tonight, it seems like a bit of Rin's life has returned to her. She doesn't continue her list of rhetorical questions, though. Instead, she leans back a little and looks up at the moon traveling above the town. The cool breeze blowing between the buildings seems to steal the conversation away before it even really begins. It's too bad. It looked like Rin would get out of her blue mood. I wish I could somehow know the right things to say, but I realize I can't do that the way I am now. I'm too far apart from Rin. I haven't really managed to crack her open. She's just too complicated. It's like she's open to everything, equally disinterested in everything from the outset. In truth, she's locked tighter than anyone else I know, even myself. Sometimes she locks herself inside that inner world, shutting everything else out. At other times, her thoughts flow freely from her mind, but not organized in any fashion that will make them intelligible to the rest of the world. What comes out in the form of paintings I can't interpret. To me, it's just a sea of colors and shapes, not a message. She's too far away. I now know it was a bad idea to try to reach out for her in the way I did, but I can't help liking her. I look at the fingers of my right hand, trying to remember what Rin's lips felt like against them. Do you ever feel like you're trying to reach out for something that's impossible to reach? Rin turns her gaze to me, tilting her head quizzically. I wonder if she understands the meaning of my own rhetorical question or not. Either way, I like how I can manage to catch her attention just by speaking aloud nowadays.
All the time. At least I think so. That's what painting feels like a lot of the time. Or all the time. I don't know.
I'm starting to like that, I'm finally changing Rin's voice. Like, it's starting to finally fit some of the voice acting I've been trying to give her.
Sometimes I get the feeling that I can really paint what I want. Sometimes it feels like it's just another shadow in me, like a mirror that doesn't work right.
Like talking?
Maybe. When I was little, I didn't really have friends. Maybe it's the same now. The only things I liked were pens and paints. They were the only things that understood me. Now it feels like that is going away too. Change really is a scary thing.
I wish I could understand you. She looks at me melancholically, roused by my thoughts materializing as words spoken aloud.
Me too.
Whether she meant she wished for me to understand her to understand me, or her to understand herself, I never ask, nor do I find out. I see her eyes searching for mine, serious and cryptic as they are. I'm not getting any explanation from there.
Don't worry about it.
I will. Small hints of a smile wavering on her lips. When she's like this, it makes me feel like that maybe there's hope for us. We get along so well for being so different. It's just that we never really get along precisely because we are so different. Maybe it was Rin's passionate approach to our own art exhibition, or perhaps my own careless words, but last week was different from usual. The small friction between us seems to be somewhat volatile, but at least we now seem to be back to normal, relatively speaking. We stand up from the bench and pick yet another direction in which to go. The wee hours of night slowly pass by as we measure the streets of the town, one step at a time. We are finally at ease, not minding the rare lone passerby, the eerie darkness, each other, ourselves. Rin's step seems lighter, like the heavy air around her is letting go a little. It makes me feel happy. We don't talk, save for the single remarks that are spoken into the night of the town and never answered. The details jump into the eye instead of being the usual blur they are during the day. As the sky above us changes from deep dark blue to gray, I know that our night is soon ending. It's almost morning. Rin looks up too and nods at me. It's true. The coming light of morning is creeping through the sky, climbing higher by the minute. It feels surreal. The sun won't come up for a while, but I get the feeling that the end of this night really is here and now. Should we head back? Rin nods again, twice, her hair waving in the breeze that seems to be heralding the coming dawn. Abruptly, she takes off, taking the lead in this walkabout on which I'd brought her. It seems she really is in a better mood. This, too, makes me feel happy. Oh my gosh. Rin's navigational skills are probably not much better than mine, but we eventually find ourselves in front of Sai's place. I don't know if this was any help. I did this once before, but it was more because of a stupid impulse or maybe restlessness back then. Maybe this was a silly idea and didn't really help you at all. She just nods as an answer. So, do you know how you're going to destroy yourself now?
I have some ideas. I don't want to see you for a while. Don't come and see me. Do something else.
Her ultimatum catches me completely off guard. What the hell? What's that about? You said before that you didn't mind.
I mind now. It's just for a while. I have to do this alone.
I don't like that.
Why?
I don't want it to go like this.
Why?
I just don't want to feel this distance between you and me. She tilts her head like a bird, her eyes narrowing a little as she thinks.
Then you can touch me.
What?
You can touch me if you want. You'd feel better, right?
I don't know.
Try.
Where do you want me to touch you? Oh, God.
No chest or left ear. Other than that, you can decide.
I guess you can... okay, I shouldn't say anything. Fine. I raise my hand hesitantly, even though I don't know why I'm actually doing this. Her eyes tell me that she's not going to explain. 1,000 thoughts race through my head as I slowly bring my hand closer to Rin's face and press 3 fingers against her pale cheek. Rin feels soft and cold. She closes her eyes on contact and visibly relaxes. I can feel her soft breathing. Her muscles release in tension as my fingertips caress her cheek. She doesn't rest her head... Ugh, God damn it, Amy, no, don't do it. She doesn't rest her head against my palm or anything else you'd expect a girl to do in this sort of situation. In fact, she hasn't reacted at all, save for those now shut eyes. Once I withdraw my hand, she opens them again. It might be just an illusion created by the timid morning sunlight playing with my eyes, but Rin looks like she's holding back a smile. This is the problem with our relationship. Half the time I have no idea what is going on, and the other half I just fail to understand why things are going on like they are. As usual, I'm not going to get an explanation. Rin merely takes a step towards the door.
See you later.
Then she disappears from my reach for an undefined period of time. We're slowly approaching that climax where... How long have we been going? 33 minutes? God. I know people tend to get a little bit pissy when I go on longer than this. And I kind of want to, but it's like, I just have a feeling I know what's gonna happen. I mean, I do remember stuff from Rin's Path, even though I skipped so much of it the last 2 times I did. Let me see here. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep going, but only for a little bit more. Like, I'm not saying through the entire day, because I think this might be a scene where I have to censor some shit. But I want to see if there's like a stopping point between then. So I'm gonna keep going, but only for a little bit. Alright, but first let me take a drink. God, my mouth hurts so much. Because my fucking... Like, my jaw hurts because I've been talking so much. Like... Like, but it's mostly because I've been speaking in Hasao's voice most of the time. God damn it. Alright. I hold true to my promise of honoring Rin's request, even if it's against my own will. I try to redirect my focus into my studies, but end up zoning out during classes and doing only the minimum amount of work required. God, my jaw hurts. Still, I start looking into my post-high school options a bit more seriously. I pore over university brochures on various career paths. I'm good at studying, so I want to go to a university. I'm pretty sure I could get into a pretty decent one, too. The only problem is deciding which subject would be the best. Kenji ridicules me about subjecting myself to the control of feminist teachers when I tell him about trying to get into a university. I don't ask about what he wants to do in the future. I wonder what Rin thinks of her own future. I bet she's not as lost as I am, and if she is, it's probably in some completely different way. I feel somewhat disappointed in finding out that I can't stop thinking about her. Her request makes me worry about her and think about her, more than I did when I could go and see her when I wanted. It bothers me that I can't. Oh god. As expected, I eventually crack. Late one afternoon, I get on the bus heading downtown. I try to avoid explaining to myself exactly why I'm doing this, but keep thinking about other things for the entire duration of the trip. Oh god, don't tell me I'm scared. Yep, this, god damn it. Okay, I think I know what's gonna happen. I don't want to, like... I think I know what's gonna happen. Like, this might be my stopping point, because I'm gonna need to... Because basically, I've never done censoring before. And because I want to read everything out, it is going to hurt my jaw if I keep doing this. Alright, well, first off, let me see how long... God damn it. Windows 8. Let me see how long we've been going. 37 minutes? Okay, we could stop there. Yeah, because I feel like this might be my in-between point. Alright, let's get... God. Man, we're... Gosh. Basically what's going on is we're really getting into Rin's story right now. Like, I think the point where we finally started getting into it was when she got her paintings approved by Sai. You know, and now it's like... And now knowing that, you know, basically she needs to self-destruct to get her paintings through. God damn it, dogs are going off. I'll explain more about this in my Pokemon Black video later today. Anyway, alright, so that was Katawa Shoujo. Shut up, dog. That was Katawa Shoujo Part 20. Hope you enjoyed it. Well, tomorrow we're gonna be playing Pokemon Randomized Platinum again. I think after Pokemon Black, I'm gonna upload chapters 3 and 4 of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Just even out that number I have of uploads I have on my channel. But still, after God, I'm gonna need some censoring after Katawa Shoujo. I think in the next part, Katawa Shoujo. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys again for Pokemon Randomized Black Part 6 later today. So, see ya!